Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have a little Q&A session for you. Just a quick reminder for all of you guys out there who I just want to say thanks for the support. As always, if you want to support the channel and you just don't have money to spend or whatever, that's fine. I appreciate, of course, always the kind words, but also it actually helps us quite a bit if you go ahead and hit the like button and go ahead and leave a little comment for the algorithm, because if anyone can really get paid position, YouTube still isn't really taking paid position that I can tell yet, but that's how the Google works, and that's how YouTube eventually will probably go. So if you want some homegrown stuff that's really good that you can watch and listen to, that is going to be, a little bit more personal and a little bit less corporate, then please considering supporting us in that way. All right, enough jibber jabber. Jeem says, a great idea on the tattoos. The more the merrier. The best part about being an actual coin collector instead of a gold or silver investor who cares what gold and silver are at. We collect coins for the pure enjoyment and the rarity. Thanks for another great video and a great haircut. Cheers. See, this is what happens when I clip a comment like from months ago, and none of it makes any sense because my hair is longer than it's ever been. And I think I was actually only saving this because the comment about the tattoo that I really think, maybe when we get to 100,000 subscribers, then I'll get a tattoo or something. All right, no one heard me say that. So Ben, will you ever attend the Salt Lake City Coin Show in Sandy, Utah? It would be great to see you there. Matt in Minnesota. Wait, no, it's not actually Matt in Minnesota. It is Minnesota Matt asking me if I'm going to be in Sandy, Utah. Keith, change your name. Matt, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to come to Sandy, Utah, which actually sounds delightful, or Salt Lake City for that matter. But I just like the fact that he was asking me to come to Utah, and his name is Minnesota Matt. A $95 bill for $100. Wait, no, a $100 bill for $95. What a deal! So a lot of you saw that I bought a $100 bill, and I said, "Oh, I bought this for $95." For those of you who are not aware of my sense of humor, which you're probably right, that was a joke. I mean, I got it for $100. It's actually probably on our website right now for $111 or something. But I got that in change, which was what was so fun about it. The rest of the video I was talking about how I got stuff and what I paid for it, or this, that, or the other. And so I just mentioned now I paid $95 for this coin, for this piece of paper, and it's a $100 bill. But sometimes maybe I should have said it's only worth $95 with inflation. All right, John says, I need a video explaining this one trick that coin dealers don't want you to know. Oh, if you guys can all just leave comments on like what the most obnoxious YouTube titled video would ever be, maybe I get the top 5. I'll put it on the community post, and go ahead and we can put a poll up for whatever we think the most obnoxious one is, and I'll make that video. That would be fun. I've actually made plenty of videos that talk about things that the coin dealers don't want you to know per se. And I mean, I've talked about having certain ways to negotiate and talk about coins with coin dealers. And not that they don't want you to know. I mean, if you do it subtly, they don't know that you know. So, but I would love to have that listing. I'm just going to do a community post and say, hey, give me your suggestions. And then we're going to boil that down to some of the top picks. I could do an entire series of YouTube-style gotcha videos, which is basically clickbait stuff. And, most of you would be in the know and get it. The only problem with me doing that is, like, if I play it straight, people are going to be, not sure what I'm talking about. So, all right, CG Coin says, often in your videos you've resubmitted, you show the old holder. So my question is, when you sell a regraded coin, do you include the old crackout holder? It may be weird, but if I bought a regraded coin that was in one of your videos, I definitely want all the previous broken holders the coin was in. So, you know what? I often will have them, but people don't really ask for them. So we have like a slab graveyard that we put them in. Slabs inside of slabs. It really makes sense. Plastic for plastic, dust to dust, dust to dust, ashes to ashes. So if you want some of that type of stuff, I guess you can always request it. A couple other people mentioned that they didn't get theirs, and some other people thought no one would like it. But I will say that I think a lot of people wouldn't mind having the old holders around for nostalgia's sake. Sometimes I'd like to get rid of the old holders because it's just painful. All right, Mark asks, thoughts on the World Trade Center Silver Eagles for sale? Another topic that I'm pretty sure we did a video on once upon a time. And the World Trade Center coins were actually somewhat controversial because there's a lot of people who said that, well, the guys who were putting it together were just profiteering off of, bodies, right? So there was some controversy surrounding it. But of course, the money, from what we could tell, actually went to survivors' families. The families were the survivors, something along those lines. It's actually an interesting thing because they pulled coins up, for those of you who don't know, from the World Trade Centers, from underneath some vaults that were underneath them. And actually, I believe the vaults weren't under the main towers; they were under some of the other ancillary buildings. And they ended up putting them in these holders that had, collected from the World Trade Center site on the holder. And so this is one of those strange areas where collecting the holder makes some sense because it's almost like getting a shipwreck coin, right? It's a coin that if it's in a normal holder is just the normal coin, but if it says it's from this site, people are really collecting the event. And this is true all the time in collecting. Like there's, why would you want those Nikes? They're just old and ratty. Oh, those are the ones that were in Game 7 that Jordan wore. Oh, they're identical to the ones that were at the thrift store. And so, but the point is people collect the connection to history, really. And that's what a lot of collecting is anyways. So as far as how they go, it's kind of a fun little area to collect. And there's lots of interesting little coins that are in there that are not that expensive from other countries. And I know a number of people. There's some databases out there, I believe, of the different stuff that they issued or had available. And it's kind of a neat area to collect for anyone who's interested. You can kind of search around the web and find more information and see what they trade for on eBay. James says, I understand that MS1670, MS60 to MS70, and I can spot the differences. But when it comes to proofs, the grades seem meaningless beyond proof 65. I can't for the life of me determine the difference between a proof 69 and a proof 70 when they both look flawless. Even that 67 to 68 looks flawless, so I don't get it. Once again, we were just talking about collecting plastic, and this has to do with collecting plastic versus budgets, this comment to me does, because if you want a certain coin that looks really nice, you can always pattern your collecting habits off of your eye appeal and how nice of a coin you want. You don't have to let the market dictate to you that you've got to get the finest grade known. That's like an ego thing, and it's fine if you want to collect that way. What I'm saying is, though, it's not necessary. You can always go through and collect coins that you like, and instead of paying, $500 for the proof 69, when you can get a proof 67 for $50, like literally you'll see coins that'll be 10 times as expensive for a couple points on the grading scale system. And to your eye, you can't tell the difference. So at that point, collect what you would like to collect. And especially on those proof coins, high-grade proof coins, it's very difficult. And I'll say that in my video. Like, we'll look at coins, and can you really tell the difference? And lots of times, I can't. So it's a good point to be made. Jeff says, I don't collect currency, but if I could go back to my youth, I would certainly get into it. I see the auctions on eBay and the bidding goes ape beep on some of these notes. High demand means that such an item will sell easily and at close to retail price. Of course, there are similar items in the coin collecting realm too. I think I may have pulled this comment just because of the fact that he actually got the word ape beep through on here and it didn't get censored, because they actually censor a lot of stuff. Like there's things that Sometimes you'll just say something that's just kind of considered rude or something, and they'll kind of pull it aside. So I found that pretty interesting. And as far as collecting currency goes, yeah, I mean, when you look at collecting currency, the reality is if you collect stuff that's not that high grade, then you can find stuff that's not too expensive. If you just want examples of notes, banknotes, and you don't care too much about condition, you can actually put together a really nice banknote collection based on items, so like a typeset, without having to spend a ton of money on it, right? So, but you are right. If you have really, really nice notes, the prices go really bananas, right? So if you have, there are a lot of notes that in higher grades, the price guides are probably too low on them. Like you'll see them kind of trade at a lot higher prices. All right, boys and girls, I think that's all we got today. So thanks so much for watching. As always, I appreciate your comments and, of course, likes and dislikes. And no dislikes. If you watch this late in the video, you better not dislike the video, because that's just crazy. Who would watch the whole video and not like it? Come on. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.